Hello YouTube, this is a video about the whole antinatalism thing, I believe it's called. Um, I've been reading a lot of comments and watching a few of the videos, and I don't think it's really that dangerous. Now, I don't agree with it. I think it's moronic, and I think it's the desperate flailings of manically depressed people. When I was at my absolute worst of depression, I felt that way, but I always knew. I never went the extra mile and said everyone should be wiped out because I knew there were happy people. But that's not the point. Um, Antinatalism is not what is it called when you want to destroy everything? Antinatalism is simply saying that people should not have children. That it's a push to keep as many people as they can from not having children. The danger comes when they start talking about killing the people that are already here, or force sterilizing people. But I don't see that really. But again, I just started looking at it like 2 days ago, so I don't know. They believe that you should not, that life is crap and you should choose not to have children. I see what they mean on some level, but, I disagree, obviously. I think they're the same as the hippies who believe there's going to be a wave of consciousness that will fix everything, everyone will be empathic. Or the metaphysicists that believe if you meditate enough, you'll be able to astral project, and at some point we will all reach that place and everything will be okay. Or the Christians that believe the rapture is coming and that everything will be okay. These are all shortcuts to keep from actually having to work hard to make the world a better place. Antinatalism says children can't consent to existing. This is true. They cannot. But they also have the ability to destroy themselves if they don't want to exist. How do we know whether they would have wanted to exist or not? It goes both ways. I'm not going to have a child biologically. I'm probably going to adopt. And I'm probably going to adopt an older teenager. If I end up with with someone, I may adopt. It depends on the situation, but, there are too many children that need homes. Now, I agree with the antinatalists that say we need to stop. There are different antinatalists, it seems. Some of them have a few ideas that I absolutely agree with. That would just be impossible to implement. It's just not practical. Even pushing for it is moronic. It's just not going to work. Like, how you need a license to own a dog, but anyone can have a child, and for some reason their rights to that child are absolutely sacrosanct. You can't in any way challenge that because it's their kid. Even if the kid agrees with you and doesn't, it's a horrible place. Nope, it's their kid. People have a right to their children. This comes from an inherent paranoia that people have about the government taking away their children. And it's not completely unfounded. I could see that happening in certain contexts. But, yeah, I don't agree with that, that idea. I think rather than, someone having children and then after they have children, that child was born into a horrible environment, uh, it would be good to maybe have to get a license. And what I feel is the opposite of what they say. They say we should prevent people from having children. I actually think it's the opposite. When things get better, when America is not so close to circling down the drain, if in his second term somehow Obama didn't care about bipartisanism, and he went ultra liberal and became another Bill Clinton, and we had a surplus, I think the way you could have people agree to having to get a license is, instead of having negative consequences for not having a license, you give positive consequences to people who do. For instance, certain grants, like claiming them as dependent on your tax and getting more money, doesn't occur until you get a license showing that the place where you live is an absolute hellhole. You know, maybe tying certain things to that. You don't keep them from having a child, but you get what I'm saying? But again, at this point, the potential for abuse would just be too high. But I do agree with taking away the... basically, no one seems to care about the rights of a child who is sentient, who exists. An actual child. No, don't sneak that abortion crap in there. I'm talking about a sentient being that can think. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh, I don't think they're dangerous, the antinatalists, because they again, I'm not talking about the ones who talk about forced sterilization or killing the people who are already here. The ones saying that life is horrible and everyone should stop having children. When you talk about them, you're just validating their thing, only because they're not actually hurting anyone. I mean, at most they might convince a few people to not have children. Like, what is their end game? There's nothing that they can do to hurt anyone, really. I just don't see them as dangerous. I don't know why everyone's going on about this, people. It's like, I think no one should have children. Alright. Maybe you'll convince some people. Who cares? I don't see... Now, even if there's a large group of people, like, they can't actually do anything, because their end goal is to convince people not to have children. Like, their end goal is convincing people of something. They still have to make someone agree with them. And the worst consequence of that, people don't have so many children. It's never gonna wipe it. Like, this isn't a movement that's gonna wipe out children. Like, it's just not gonna work. I think we should stop worrying about it, because it's not gonna work. They're not gonna convince anyone. Yeah, I mean, even if they do, it's gonna be such a tiny drop in the pan. Why are we even worrying about it? Now, the ones that actually want to wipe out all life, or the ones that... I mean, I guess they do want to wipe out all life by having no one mate, but only the ones that are saying we should do something against people's will, like sterilize or kill everyone, are a danger. So I'd say don't worry about it. Can someone explain why we're even bothering with it? At worst, they convince a few people to not fuck. So, I really don't care. Who cares? I don't... That's my question. Who cares? Again, with the exception of those two things I mentioned. The other guys, I don't give a damn. They can do what they want. Yeah. Until my next video, try to make the world a better place. And I will too. I mean, I think that's maybe what those people are trying to do. I mean, they're wrong, but they have the right to be wrong, and they're not doing anything, really.